Hello, Dr.
Hel-
K.
Hello. Hello. And I am showing you my beautiful orgonite charging plate and all of my crystals,
Mhm.
which every night rest on this amazingly powerful material and charge until I'm ready to use them or not, or just holding the high vibration
Okay.
here in the house. You know what I mean? Like you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to do anything with it because it's the whole point. It's what
Mhm.
orgonite is all about. So,
So that's an orgonite charger.
right, right.
Are all chargers orgonite?
I think that most chargers are.
Okay.
If you think about what is orgonite, orgonite it's a mixture of organic and inorganic material that is created with intention. And
Mhm.
so it literally locks in the power of intention of the practitioner into the work and the materials that you're using. And so it uses a lot of copper, which is electric,
Yep.
and that's what pulls in and directs the focus, which it's the masculine principle, and also the
Yep.
magnetic includes the dark crystals like shungite and magnetite and all of these other pieces that come into play with this. And what
Okay.
orgonite actually does is it takes a composite. Typically, it's some sort of a resin that you pour in, and then it dries. And when it
Mhm.
dries, it shrinks. And in the shrinking, that exerts pressure on all the materials that are within. And so
Mhm.
piezoelectricity, which already exists in crystals and it already exists in copper, is literally like amplified. And so then the human takes the intention that we have because therefore we are the ones who direct the power of our intention and cause action to occur. And so it's the human component that literally activates the orgonite. And so
Okay.
it's all of that, if that makes
So
sense.
yeah, that does make sense. That's such a good explanation too of how the orgonite comes together, how the resin puts more pressure on it when it shrinks, and it gives the crystals more oomph.
Hmm.
So if you make your own orgonite, right? Because orgonite is the combination of all of those. You're not
Right,
making one thing or another. Orgonite is the
right.
composition of all of those things. If you make your own, does that make your intentions more powerful? Like, I feel like you're
Absolutely.
putting your,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. I mean, you can buy orgonite. People make orgonite and they sell it. And I will say that it's not cheap. There's a
No,
reason for that because all of the
I paid
individual components.
$75 for a little Merkaba one.
Yeah, I believe it. It's
Yeah.
very expensive because think about it, all of the materials that go into orgonite individually are very expensive. However, it's so much more powerful when you are involved hands-on in the creation of this because you are adding your own individual intention to that material that you are designing. And so literally
You are
you
designing
you
it.
are creating alchemy. And so, absolutely, I feel like it's 10 times the power if you make your own orgonite as opposed to what you buy. But I get that a lot of times people don't have the time or the opportunity to do that. It's
Right. And
sort
there
of
are a
a,
lot
it's a,
of ingredients that go into orgonite. Some of them are a little
right, right,
not
there.
hard to find, but a little complicated. It can get a little tricky, you
It's a
know?
process. I mean,
It's a
definitely it's
process.
making orgonite is a process. And so like my sister and I, we realized a year and a half ago we wanted to be in charge of our own destiny. We wanted to imbue our own intention, which is very powerful because here we are guardians of the 42nd parallel, sitting here on this ley line, which is super powerful, runs through Salem. And then on the other side of us runs through Detroit. We all know the power of these sacred sites and how they're being hijacked. We figured, you know what, we need to increase and harness the power of our own personal intention. And so we want to learn how to make orgonite. So we did. We went through the process, we learned it, we practiced multiple times. And since then, we have been making orgonite. And that's what actually led me to realize that I need to show other people how to do this because it's all about teaching people how to fish. So
Yeah.
come to me, I will show you how to do it. I will give you the formula. I will walk you through the process step by step so that people can realize, this is what I got to do. And then you add your own intention, because once you become familiar with the basics of making orgonite, that's where you start to get really empowered and the creativity turns on. And next thing you know, you're adding your own special touches to that. Like, for instance, as my sister and I were making orgonite, it started out very basic. Just, okay, we need to gather all the ingredients, put it in here, create the items. There we go.
Yeah.
However, you evolve. And so now what we're doing is we're taking sigils that we charge in my Rife machine with the 528 hertz frequency, which is all about love and love and above. Put that in there. Include beeswax or even local honey, which all has that high frequency intention of pure life. It's life-giving energy. We're putting that in as well. So there are a whole bunch of things that you can put into your own individualized formula to make orgonite, to make it so much more powerful. And you, as a guardian of whatever area you are in, we are, those of us who are on the spiritual path that are recognizing we are all guardians of Earth. Well, what are you a guardian of if not where you live? We've been strategically placed by divine all across the globe to the areas where we are meant to steward. And so it's really, really important, once you take action in the physical world in a way such as this, creating your own orgonite and then putting it around your property, your home, and that literally magnifies your intention for protection, for clearing, healing. I mean, there's so many different things that you bring in.
I'm thinking also of somebody's desk, if they're stuck. Like you said, a lot of people, first of all, they might not want to make their own, right? Like, some people just aren't crafty. They don't want to do all that. And that's fine. They don't have to. But they're stuck at a desk. And maybe some people like that too. I shouldn't say it like that, right? They're stuck at a desk. Like, that's my personal hell. It might not be other people's, but having some orgonite on their desk at work, even, how would that help somebody at work?
Well, think about, what does orgonite do? So orgonite will turn negative energy into positive energy, because it literally does release the polarity. Because if you think about what we learned about heart through the Heart Math Institute, for instance, in recording.
Yeah, this is scientifically proven.
It is.
This isn't woo-woo.
It's not woo-woo. This is real.
No, it's not.
And so the human body, the human biofield, creates electromagnetic energy, which can be measured. And it's also been recognized that heart coherence is a clockwise spin.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the artificial intelligence, every electronic that humans have created that's artificial, essentially, spins in a counterclockwise. And so orgonite has the amazing ability to transform that which is inorganic, that which is anti-life, and puts it in coherence with the clockwise spin. So that's literally what the power of orgonite is all about. It's to take in this dirty, and really, that's when you talk about dirty energy and you think about the electromagnetic signature of these human created energy frequencies, which are really not all that healthful to us. It's called dirty energy. Orgonite will restore that to organic, and so take away the dirtiness of it. And it's really, really powerful if you think about it.
So we can say orgonite cleans up your area.
It up your
energetic field.
Yes. And if you use it with intention, the effects of that cleansing are absolutely magnetized because of the power of human intention. We humans have so much power that we don't even realize. And orgonite really does allow us a tool to harness and direct that intention. So it's very powerful. It purifies the atmosphere that it's in. It will detoxify water even. And it's been, multiple different experiments. People would place orgonite into situations and then discover the changes. And another, some of the other stuff that it even ended drought. When there has been testing of that. Oh, amazing. Just putting orgonite out and about will end drought. A cloudbuster is a super powerful handmade technology that you can build with a Home Depot bucket, and you fill it with the orgonite and you put in copper pipes. that will literally blast through all of this contaminated artificial garbage that is being sprayed across our skies and clear that up. It's
So
just
do you mean
so
cloud
powerful.
busting like versus cloud seeding?
It busts the seeding of the clouds.
Okay. It's the
The cloud
opposite of, okay.
busters, yeah, it's the opposite. It literally detoxifies all of the contamination that's been going on across our skies. And so,
Right.
but if you think about it, that's just one little thing. A Home Depot bucket is what, like this big in circumference, not very big. You
No,
fill that and you
no.
put in some
12,
copper
18 inches.
pipes, and they reach out, you know, a few feet, but that can literally clear the sky above you and go, and it will expand out for miles. This has been shown
Okay.
to be to actually have a real world effect over and over and over again. And orgonite is a base, it's the recognition of how do you make orgonite that literally is the basic component of what goes into a cloud buster. Once you learn how to do it, you can
I
make
just
the little
learned what cloud
pyramids.
seeding was a couple of months ago when they were talking about these drastic weather changes. And they're like, it's been around for years, decades. We've known about it for years. It's been around for decades. I was like, oh my God. So somebody who is just learning about orgonite, they Google orgonite, they look at it, all of the things that you're saying is
Yep.
true. Like
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
fascinating, orgonite.
Right.
So you are doing a workshop
Yep.
here in Holyoke.
Yes, in
Unfortunately,
Holyoke.
we can't do it virtually because we need all the materials and stuff like that. But
Right.
if people that are watching are interested in it, we can definitely figure that branch out in some
Yeah.
way to help people with that. I
Right.
also feel like this is something that we should really talk about Wilhelm Reich and his story. Do you think that it's worth mentioning or stick to orgonite?
Well, Wilhelm Reich was literally the man. I'm not going to say the inventor, but he was the realizer of the power of orgonite. And initially, when I learned about it, I was put off by the idea of inorganic. Oh, you're going to use epoxy and you're going to use these inorganic materials. That makes no sense. But the reality of it is that all of this inorganic stuff was created by human intention. And
Yeah.
so it actually does make a lot of sense. And it's human intention, which is harnessing and directing that which we want to create. And so, yes, Dr. Reich was instrumental in bringing forth the whole idea of orgonite and how powerful it is, and also starting to initiate that conversation, which
He
people
was
have been.
trying to educate people.
He was.
He was
He
trying to
absolutely
spread this
was.
healing. And yeah, he apparently was arrested, put in jail the day before he was supposed to be released.
Yeah. And isn't it funny how that always happens, which literally confirms the power of the information that these folks are
Yeah.
actually trying to share? You
You
know,
can't
the
make this
deep
stuff
state,
up.
you can't. And the deep
You
state
can't.
seems to think that by killing people that are going to go live with their information, it's somehow going to shut down the message without
It does
realizing,
slow it down.
well, it
It slows it
slows it
down a little
down
bit.
maybe in
We
the
could all,
past, but I feel now whenever
yeah,
that happens, it literally like makes it blow up, and then all of a sudden there's a
yes,
million times more attention being called to
yes.
that
And we
area
have the
that this
story
person.
behind us and science, like
Exactly.
now is the time. So, it's just
Exactly.
reminding me how I learned about orgonite was I was looking up the lyrics of a Kate Bush song, and I am
Oh,
pretty
boy.
sure it is called Cloudbusting. And I was looking up the
Makes sense.
lyrics, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that song now. So
I think you
there's a
should.
workshop. Yeah,
Coming up.
I am seriously, as soon as we finish this video, I'm gonna look at it. It
Yeah.
was last June, as a matter of fact. So our workshop is June 23rd
Yep.
here in Holyoke. We can only have 20 people. I think that would be the absolute max. And we already have 7 and haven't even started
Yeah. Yeah.
pushing it
And I
out.
mean,
But
like this is such a fundamental teaching for people because all right, here I'm going to show you what I'm actually working on right now. You see
okay.
this?
Yep.
This is what this actually is this is an ankh.
Oh, the I was gonna
So
say the ankh.
yeah, I am in the process of
Hmm, love it.
creating this And I'm going to be using Orgonite because just learning Orgonite and the power of how it pulls everything together and puts
Yep.
the squeeze on with the piezoelectricity,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's perfect. And so I am designing and creating this, which is I'm going to use it as to focus my intention. You harnessing the power of, the electric and the magnetic together, and all of the principles of orgonite, shungite.
Right.
Shungite is so incredibly powerful. People have gone around for years and planted shungite in the ground at the base of these 5G towers, because they recognize how powerful shungite is in absorbing and transforming the dirty energy and changing it to the positive. And so shungite is in all of my orgonite creation, I always include shungite. I feel like shungite is absolutely essential. There different formulas exist. You can learn whatever you want to learn how to make orgonite. I always include that because to me, that's one of the most powerful absorption, transformational materials that exist. And so, everybody's different, but what I teach is going to include these foundational principles, which I myself follow. So,
And I wonder, if we have one person that's going to make something for their house, their kids, indoors, their kitchen, somebody else for a desk, somebody else outside,
right.
Those will be different. And so they'll have a personalized experience.
They will.
With you.
And they will, right.
Yeah,
and they'll be able to, and they will be able to realize that, again, the main thing, teaching people the basics, but then your creativity is going to kick in and be like, oh my God, I can use it here and here and here. Like for me, I realized just after learning the basics, okay, the Cloudbuster is a thing. And I have created a directional sort of a protection zone using orgonite, north, south, east, and west. I create my orgonite specific to the region that it's going to be protecting. It's using the crystal energy that is tuned to that direction and installing that all around my property. And also it has allowed me to get informed to develop more and more of these charging plates. Like for instance, here's the most recent
that looks
thing.
like a really big charging plate.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that big. It doesn't have to be that big. What are we doing
in the workshop?
So in the workshop, we're going to be doing something about half this size. So if people want to make a charging plate, they certainly are welcome to do that. It's going to be about this big. And we're giving people 2 molds so they can make 2 of them and take those home. And then they have also the material to create and redo whatever they want, because they will have learned this is your basic steps, step by step, to make orgonite. And I mean, that's just one little thing. You can go so far with it. Like for instance, okay, this is the centerpiece for the charging plate that I am now creating. Look at how intricate that is with all the crystals. But it incorporates the basic principles that I have learned as I've done this work. And that's what people are going to take away from this, is the ability to be like, okay, what else can I do? Asking questions and then bringing it in, because really there are no wrong answers. You know what I'm saying? You take the fundamentals and you run with it. And that's what we're teaching people to do. Teaching people how to fish, not giving them a fish.
Yeah. And, we don't have to rely on Amazon to deliver things. We don't have to rely on going to the store.
Right.
Yeah. And this is just so creative and beautiful and so important that it does. I am not the craftiest person, and I'm really looking forward to doing this, because I have 2 orgonites and I know how powerful they are. So making my own art is just going to be amazing. So I will put the instructions and everything in the description box below for this workshop, and our website for people if they want to get a hold of us and have questions. But thank you so much for talking to us today and introducing orgonite and Cloudbusters and all that stuff. I can't wait.
All right. Awesome. I can't wait either. And I cannot wait for people to get empowered, to be creative, and to just go to the next level, because that's what it's all about.
And have fun doing it. We're also doing it in a group, which that's exponential power as well. So absolutely, the whole thing will be very cool.
It will be.
All right. Thank you, Dr. K.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Talk soon.